Well, it may be shocking to many of you. AI is killing your website. Let me tell you why. It really boils down to the fact that traffic, and we're going to talk about traffic. So the Cloudflare CEO, he said, AI is killing the business model of the web. Google's value exchange with content creators has collapsed and the web's business model is cracking, according to Matthew Prince, as I said, Cloudflare CEO. In another statement, AI is going to fundamentally change the business model of the web. The business model of the web for the last 15 years has been search. Search drives everything that happens online. And he points out that 10 years ago, for every 2 pages of a website that Google scraped, they would send back 1 visitor. That was the trade. Now it takes 6 pages scraped to get 1 visitor. So if we look at that, within a decade, it's 3 times more content that you had to produce. So that trade got worse for the content creators. Now, content could arguably be said to be easier to create, but still, you had to create 6 pieces of content for Google to scrape for you to get 1 visitor back. And now, the shocking news, and many people don't know this, today 75% of queries get answered without you leaving Google. So if we come over here and said, what is the most popular backpack in the world? Okay, what's going to happen? Right here, JanSport and North Face. I didn't have to go to the website. They didn't get traffic. That trade did not occur. Google did ingest that information, but their AI answered it right at the top. So what they're saying is 75% of queries get answered without leaving Google. So that's a massively broken trade at this point. So you're creating content, it's getting ingested by the AI, whether that's Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, and then they're able to provide answers, and those answers then don't generate traffic to your website. Why is that a big problem for those of you maybe you have a website and it isn't something that is, in your mind that you utilize that way? For many small businesses through large businesses, web traffic is a vital driver of sales and business and revenue. For instance, that web traffic, you might have ads on your site. Those ads, because you're a blogger, they generate revenue for you. You also, small business or large business, you have products and services. So your trade is the Google search traffic allows you to market your product and services to that traffic that comes on, those people who come on, and that generates business and revenue. When your content is used to answer questions and you don't get anything out of it, zero, that model is fundamentally, absolutely broken in a way that is untenable to continue. So if we see down here, continue to read, this trend, long criticized by publishers and SEOs, in part of a broader concern, AI companies are using original content to generate answers that rarely and never drive traffic back to creators. AI makes the problem worse. Large language models are accelerating the crisis, Prince said. AI companies scrape far more content per user interaction than Google ever has, with even less return to the creators. And Prince even goes on to say, what do you think it is for OpenAI? 250 pieces of content to 1 return visitor? What do you think it is for Anthropic? 6,000 to 1? That's untenable. It's not sustainable. If content creators can't derive value, then they're not going to create original content. And that's a problem not only for the businesses, which it really is, but it's a problem, and individuals who are, entrepreneurs. It's also a problem for AI because without original content, yes, they can create synthetic AI, content, which is AI created content. But after a while, it's kind of like breeding. If you inbreed too long, that stuff becomes unsustainable. It causes issues. It causes mutations, and the content actually, it's proven where it gets worse over time, or biases get amplified over time, for instance. Mistakes get amplified over time. So we really need that original content to continue to drive, think of it as feed for AI so that AI can grow. So without it, it's also a problem, as far as the AI models go. And Sam Altman and others get that, but he can't be the only one paying for content when someone else gets it for free. And that's a great point. Is it basically means anybody who's creating these models, there has to be a payback for the original content that's being created. This is a huge problem. I can tell you that we're not the only ones affected by this. As a small business, yes, our web traffic is down. And I think overall, we're going to see metrics showing that traffic the second half of this year to websites is down significantly. And that trend will continue and accelerate through 2025 and beyond. So how we fix this, that is a major question. We don't have an answer to this point, but we need to find a fix for it before small businesses and large businesses alike are in jeopardy because of the lack of traffic coming to their websites or the ability to monetize in another way. It doesn't have to be the website, but another way. So hope you enjoyed this one. Be sure to like and subscribe. It helps me to provide content and information to you. And I hope you'll come back and join me in the next one.